Hello, everyone, and we are here to start a brand new podcast, all traveling through time and space called the Who. What are we calling it? Whoniversal.
No, the Whoniversal podcast. Yes, that's it.
The Whoniversal podcast, where we are
Yes.
going to go through as much as we can, or basically all the news has come out in the last week, and we all thought we tried to do this when the Chibnall era was starting.
Yeah, but that was
And
kind of a mistake on our end because, well, also on the show's end because, Chibnall had no news until 2 days before the bloody show came out.
yeah, and those
Yeah.
like and also we started from season 11, and that was the year where it was every story is going to be individually and no big villains are going to show up in this,
Yeah.
and it was not going to be leading up to something, and it's just
It was kind of dull, really.
yeah,
I can,
yeah,
I mean, it's interesting how it was kind of. I mean, I guess we're just getting straight into the first topic.
yeah, yeah.
Chib.
Let's just do a retrospective of the era that was
Yeah,
before
it's
jumping into DT. Was it what we're going RTT2?
RTD2. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough about that. We'll talk about Chibnall first.
Just
It's it sounds
to quote his words with his error, it could be better. It could be a lot better.
yes.
Yeah,
Is this from the clip from the 80s?
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's what season 20?
It
What?
was it was Trial of a Time Lord, so that was season
Why? Why?
20.
I'm not at that point yet. I
It was
must have.
season 23.
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I watched it 4 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
fairly fresh in my mind.
Yeah. I'm up to do the Three Doctors. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well,
So,
that's good.
so,
Just
so-
in 10th in time for the 60th.
yeah. Just in time. Just in time for the 60th. Yeah. I always said each season got better.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and then, but here's the thing. I get it. People see actors; they're the ones who mostly get the blame of things. But
That's the
it
thing.
was
I
it.
actually think that it was mainly down to Chibnall and the
Yeah,
people
that's the
in
thing. It's all about the
charge.
writing. It all came to the writing. It's
Yeah, because
when
Whitaker wasn't bad.
no, she wasn't. Yeah.
No, not at all. I didn't. As soon as could. Did you watch those clips that came out when Woman Who Fell to Earth was just read like the leaked clips?
Uh, I'm trying to remember if I did.
It was just the train scene where
Yeah.
she falls through the thing. I watched them and I was instantly won over. I was like, okay, she is
Uh,
the Doctor. It doesn't matter if it's a woman.
yeah.
Anyone can work in this role.
Yeah. And it, but it basically became down to and it kind of got shown through Flux, which was anytime Chibnall tried to go all timey wimey, it
Yeah.
just didn't work.
Well, I mean,
And
are you mainly talking about the Timeless Child?
um, well, we got the Time of Shell thing, which
Yeah,
I have only seen that episode once, and that's when it aired.
I've seen it twice,
Yeah.
and
So
well,
I could rewatch it and be like, okay, we're not making that much of a big deal as it was,
yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well,
but
I'm going through every episode, and I'm just halfway through series 5 of the revival now. I'm
mm,
up to the weeping. I'm not going to get to there by the 60th, but that's all right. We'll do this, and then I'll continue on. It's all good.
all,
If you're
all I
talking
will
stop.
say is, all I will say, me who did the Dr. Donovan when everyone else was doing the Dr. Donovan, it
Yeah,
wet me. It wet me when at the end, because you could tell when your eyes are starting to water down. and,
yeah,
and and it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're just being high on sugar to keep yourself awake.
yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Um,
I'm never doing
the
this ever again, kind of thing. Yeah.
back to the Chibnall conversation.
Right.
He. Do you remember what he said back at when he first started? That this was a jumping on point. You didn't have to watch anything else.
Mm.
And that was great. I mean, I actually
Yeah.
really appreciated that because okay, cool. You've got to have a jumping on point for new fans.
Yeah.
But then
But
his series 2 is so is so dense in past material.
here's the Master. Here's the Cyberman.
Yeah, exactly. The
And then,
Daleks. Yeah,
yeah, Daleks.
it just doesn't make any sense. And then the whole lore reveal about the timeless child. It just It confused me.
It sounded like her criticism about we want recognizable stuff in our seasons, and he's like, here you go, and then yeah, and then like Flux comes along, and here's Fantalis and Weeping Angels, and you just go, you have a preset notion. It's one of the situations where you need to have a preset notions of who these characters are.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that is where I think that his era was wasn't the best.
I mean, here's the thing: if someone said, "Hey, here's a jumping off point," I mean, a lot of people would jump to woes. I mean, that's
Yeah,
clearly what you're going to go
I
for.
mean, I'd go
But
11th hour.
yeah, you think Moffat's beginning is
Yeah, I mean that's a great jumping off. Hell, it's one of my favorite episodes to this day. It's a
yeah,
phenomenal
yeah.
introductory piece, just like an Unearthly Child back in '63. They're
The FD what?
oh yeah, we're gonna
I thought it's the Dead
the
Planet.
Daleks. Yeah, it's the Daleks. Yeah.
We'll talk about
Anyway,
that. We'll talk about that.
we will.
In full color. It turns out people say it was black and white, but apparently it's no, I see color.
Okay, I've got my thoughts on that, but we're just talking about Chibnall first. I just want to get on this.
Yeah, this sort of lecture. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to the writing. And for me, when remembering watching Flux.
Yeah.
I remember the best episodes were the Sartaran episode. Was it War of the Sartarans?
No, it was Halloween Apocalypse and War on the Sontarans.
War of the Sartarans, Halloween Apocalypse, and Village on the Angels. Those three were kind of like the best ones out of
okay, just go into series. What are your thoughts on The Timeless Child?
Due to the fact they never did anything with it, I kind of have no opinion with it.
Yeah. Have you read or listened to much like
Big Finish?
Not Big Finish, well, that Big Finish, but like the expanded media stuff? For instance, the Cartmill Master Plan?
No, not much. I mean,
No?
the last time I dived into the expanded media was like Time of Victorious, and
oh yeah.
I listened to the first part of like Once a Future, and that was kind of it.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, are you familiar with Andrew Cartmill and what he wanted to do with season 27 onwards?
No.
It kind of okay. Do you want me to tell you, or do you just want to wait until you get to it yourself?
I'll wait till I get to it.
Okay.
I'm the person who's a fan of the Arrival, very slowly going through the classic series.
Yeah, I got into it through the classic series.
Yeah,
I've been a fan since 2003. Yeah, basically the 40th anniversary is when I got into it. Yeah. So I've had about 12 more years than probably James has. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting doing this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I remember, what was it? Was it not the Web of Fear? It was like, oh, it was the first Doctor story.
Yep.
Was it? I'm trying to remember who the companions were. Susan left
for the first Doctor.
First Doctor, I think it was season 2.
You got Susan, you got Barbara, Ian, then you got Vicky.
Vicky was in it. It was like it was the one with the ants. I'm trying to blank on the story.
The Web Planet.
The Web Planet. Well, I got the web part, right? Okay.
Yes, you did.
I did. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? I don't know. Can we simplify this? And then they had that weird noise that was going on every 2 seconds, and I was like, yeah, I was watching it with someone, and they're like, God, that is starting to get really annoying. Can we? So how many parts is this? 4? Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
So yes, and also I was very surprised because I thought it'd be a lot of like, oh, let's play the game of stuff that you can't do today, and it's quite modern, like.
The actual structure of it, especially the 4-parters, they are like they are like two-parters today.
But what I was talking, what I was talking about was like just what's going through the first season, going through the first Doctor and the second Doctor, is I thought it'd be a lot of like if you watch like a Bond film from the 1960s, there's certain things in there that you're like, you can't get away from that today. You can't do that today
Is that mainly down to how Moffat wrote the first Doctor? Is that why he kind of had that experience, that thought?
I think it's more the era.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, the companions ain't gonna be that fleshed out as say Rose and Martha and Donna and all the modern companions. As it turns out, they are not that fleshed out until after the first story. But yeah, I basically was thinking of like, okay, I'll go and play a game of stuff that you can't get away with today, and I'm like, oh no, this show for a show that came out 60 years ago, it's kind of very progressive today.
It was real. I mean, it's got a full white cup, but apart from that, like the stuff that they're actually doing with it, like it wasn't exactly the screaming companion or anything like that. Like people seem to perceive a lot of the classic series companions as actually been.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like watching Jo Guad at the beginning, I was like, really? She's meant to be one of the big companions? Like we bring her back every time?
The big companion is next.
Yeah, I know it's Sarah Jane. I'm aware. I have seen the regeneration scene of third and the fourth a couple of times. So even though I was like, what's with the fairy guy? Anyway, but explaining regeneration and all that. But anyway, back to Chibnall. But yeah, it was a hit or miss season, a hit or miss era, to say the least.
I personally didn't mind the Timeless Child because it was basically a continuation of the Cardinal Master Plan. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, clearly that was like the main thing everybody kind of got the time, sorry, excuse me. That's what happens when you drink fizzy drink as your beverage.
The Bowles Trek and stuff saying like, oh, it's ruined Doctor Who. I've been a fan for years. Have you, if you didn't know about...
Or have you been a fan since the revival? That's the thing.
Exactly.
If you're being fan of the revival, all you understand is being 30, well, at that point there's been 14 Doctors, technically, because of war.
Yeah. And it's now 3. And 2 Tenants, now 3.
Now 3. The thing that came to my head after Powers of the Doctor, because of the whole 13 Doctors, the 13 generation rule, I'm like, did we just go through are we going through 5 generations in a span of a year? Because you got the Forces generation.
Yep.
And then you got the Masters turning back into 13.
Well, I don't think
then you got 13 into 14. Then we're going to get 14 turning into 15.
Yeah. One way that the Master one counts, because wasn't it just transferring his consciousness from one body into the other?
That's true.
That's how I always interpreted it, but I know I've heard other people say the opposite. I'm just like, well, that's how I personally always thought of it as. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking knowing we counted the generation from from Jesus, I just saw the episode a couple of weeks ago. Stolen Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Stolen. Yeah, into 10 back into 10. With the handle that we counted that onto a regeneration. Basically, end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
There's so much stuff I want to say about that particular regeneration, but I can't until you get to Trial of a Time Lord.
What season is that again? Season 23?
Season 20. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, season 23.
I'm 13 seasons away. Okay,
yeah, cool. I know. But there is quite a bit of stuff that I will be discussing with you once you get to that point.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the casting was really well done. I think the marketing was kind of the big down point because everybody's talking about the viewership.
Yes.
Yeah,
Seemed
and
to point of
cause,
attention for like Bowles Trek and like Midnight's Edge and stuff was always that was the viewing figures. But if you listen to Mr. TARDIS and what he was saying,
yeah,
viewing figures are different now than what they
oh
were
yeah,
back in 2005.
yeah. I
Like,
mean,
you know,
when like
and you
he's
got
also a good way to be like, okay, this is roughly how British television works. This is
yeah,
roughly how,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
and knowing, gone the days where it's 10 point something, it might turn to 10 point something very soon, but it'll, those days are slightly gone where it's just on BBC with a $1 million budget. And also you got competition where,
That's the reason I thought it was pulled off the air originally, because it was competing against Coronation Street.
Coronation Street, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that joke about like, oh, British television, if it's successful, you leave, you abandon immediately, unless your name is Doctor Who or Coronation Street. You keep, you keep on milking it. I mean, we're doing it. What?
I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Coronation Street.
Yeah. Sorry, I had this one. I just had this joke in my head. I was like, about how
is on BBC, right?
Yeah, and how both. Essentially, the idea is like both shows are basically Coronation Street and Doctor Who is the only time it feels like, oh, we'll milk it until people don't want to watch it anymore, pretty much.
Exactly. But anyway, back to Chibnall.
Back to Chibnall. I mean, was I like, this sucks, this is a horrible thing? First things first, I clearly made fun for 5 years of people saying the show was woke and all that kind of stuff. I always laugh. I always mock those people when I was talking about the show. So clearly, I am not that type of grim person.
I was not at all like that, which might surprise Josh in particular, considering my teenage years. But no, I was not that at all.
Oh yeah. His teenage years was female doctor. What the hell was? You better not bloody.
Yeah.
Think about it.
To be perfectly honest, before it was announced, I was exactly the same. But I watched it, and while her episodes weren't the best, Whittaker was never the problem.
You gave it a go, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have the set mindset, be like, I'm going to hate it just because.
As soon as I saw those leak clips from like 2018, was it? I think it was 2018.
18,
as soon as I saw this leak clip, I was like, because 17 was Series 10. Yeah, so as soon as I saw those leak clips,
were they filming it in 2017?
I think they were filming it in 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, so it could have leaked online.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have.
But yeah, I saw the clips, and I was won over.
Almost instantly. Yeah. I mean, all it's nice this year is you had like zero of that, or like at least a low amount of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Christmas, let's get ready. I mean, clearly what's happening is it's Judy Gaffney and Russell Davis waving that pride flag with pride, and I say go for it. That's what I say. Because the moment you cast a drag queen in your show, I think that's where I'm like, okay, yep, I know what kind of era we're going for.
Yeah. That is true. That is very telling about what kind of show we're going to be getting.
Yeah, a really progressive type show. But yeah, I mean, and that's funny enough. Anytime people say Doctor Who is starting to become political, it's woke, or whatever. I mean, it's always been that.
Yes, I mean, the Daleks are massive.
I mean, I keep calling every time I do a Dalek with a story with the Daleks in it. What do I call them? I call them robot Nazis, because that's what they are.
Oh, yeah. And like the Sun. No, I'm just going to say this, even though you haven't seen it yet. The Sunmakers is basically that writers being pissed off with having to pay taxes. That's political.
Yeah. And also the roots of the show. Like, who was the first showrunner? A woman who was a Jewish woman. Who was...
I think also Sidney Newman was a Jewish guy as well.
And he was Canadian. So he was a immigrant.
Yeah.
And then who was the first director? Ian, who was at the time closeted.
Yeah.
Because probably at the time the stupid, jail law
was definitely different 6 years ago.
Yeah. I mean the whole law jail thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably at the time before he's still around.
Not exactly the world's finest hour there.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Chitawara, not the best.
No.
No, not the greatest.
I will say, and I know this is going to piss off a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Jodie Whittaker's Doctor to David Tennant.
It'd be funny if you prefer David Tennant's 14 over 10.
I mean, I might, although it doesn't look likely considering how, Rosalind Davis has come out and said he's going to be more human than the 10th Doctor. And I took that as a threat, quite frankly.
Okay. I mean, here's the weird thing about it is now, like, David Tennant is now. I mean, we're in this like let's call it Disney era now, and the whole thing of season 14 is now season 1 kind of thing. He's basically the new Tom Baker. Yeah, like he's the face. That as in like the face of the damn.
I understand what you're saying, but that still makes my blood boil.
like, yeah. And who's the favorite? It's Tom Baker for the classic two. Who's the favorite for the revival? It's always.
In my personal 2 least favorite Doctors are David Tennant and Pete Davison.
There's a bit of joke in there.
I know. It's not lost on me, Josh.
No, that's well. Yeah. It is kind of cool that most of the Doctors all know each other. It's kind of nice. Kind of cool.
Yes, well, they know each other intimately.
Oh yeah, they do. But like the whole thing, like, we're intending our twins, and
exactly.
And then you got, because of the 50th, the Tennant and Smith mates as well, and all kinds of stuff. It's nice. So Chestnut era, we're heading to a brand new era with RTD2. We just got our first glimpses of that era, like 24 hours ago.
Yeah, it was only 24 hours ago. Yeah, it would have been, right.
Yeah, probably would have.
God, it already feels like so long ago.
24 hours ago, a day ago, we just got Children in Need, that 5-minute clip.
But anyway, should we talk about that or Liberation of the Daleks first?
Let's have a look here. Let's on the list. Let's do Children. Let's do Children in Need.
Well, I don't know. Liberation takes place before Children in Need.
Fair point. So I just read Relation of the Daleks for the first time.
Did you do it through the link that I sent you?
For the motion comic thing, yeah.
I read the Doctor Who magazine.
Magazines? What's those?
I've been collecting them since the first one with David Tennant on the front cover.
Mm-hmm.
With part of this whole thing, so I'm currently 2 behind. Where they should be because of just how it worked out and everything. Because in Australia we get them 2 months behind everywhere else.
I mean, you could do it digitally.
I do. I like to have a physical, so
I was thinking of getting the FX magazine, but then I realized everyone's gonna tell the important parts and all that. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you think of it?
I thought. Now, by the way, give you a little bit of context if people don't know what it is. It's basically a comic book that went. It was basically a comic strip that went through the magazines, like basically once a month.
14 issues.
14 issues. So basically a year.
Yes.
So it gives. So for basically having.
It came. The first issue was released a week after Power of the Doctor.
Yeah, I remember that cover.
Yeah.
I heard it got sold out.
Yeah, I'm surprised it came. It was like 5 or 6 on the shelf here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Doctor Who has no presence in Australia, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it did, but then it went.
No, that's true. It did. The Matt Smith era was brilliant for
Yeah,
merchandise
I
here.
always describe as the Moffat era was when Doctor Who was the non-British show.
Yes, and it looks like it might be continuing that way.
That way, and then Chibnall made it back to the sci-fi show that only British people watch, and now we're heading to the era where it's our policy now, bitch. No,
Yeah.
So it's always I always like to curse as Mickey, just as like the evil corporation kind of thing. Anyway.
So yeah, liberation of the Daleks.
Yeah.
I actually I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, same. I thought it was quite good. I mean, what it's basically about is like the 14th Doctor just generated him still processing like, okay, I'm old face, more winkles. And then immediately, as typical Doctor Who stuff, he is sending a signal to 1966. Was it London? 1966 London.
Yes.
For Wembley Stadium doing a soccer match.
Yes, the Football World Cup, which I am not being. Neither of us are sports fans, so that was kind of lost on us. But we understood the Britishness behind it.
Yeah. And what happens is Daleks start invading the Earth, and the Doctor's like, hold on a second, that is not meant to happen.
Yes.
And then we just find out more and more about, and then we have a version of it's 14. Yeah, typical Doctor find the Dalek stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of neat.
So did I.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, the thing is, I think in the back of my head, I realized like, is it canon? Is it not really canon because it's a comic thing? Because
I am completely the opposite. If it happened in an official Doctor Who magazine or anything officially licensed, I count it as canon.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always been that way.
Yeah, because in the back of my head, I'm thinking they're never going to weapons it. They're never going to show the clip of it. They're never going to, do. Remember that one time that I, fought the Daleks at Wembley Stadium?
According to Russell T Davies, there probably is like a deleted scene that has a line that references it.
Probably.
Well, that's what he said.
There's a line.
Yeah, okay. He actually had a line that referenced it, but it got deleted because of the Children of Eve clip. Yeah.
Okay. So, I thought it was really good. I mean, the thing is, when it comes to like any time, it's like here's a comic that's based on a show and all that kind of stuff. You always get about how much of the voice, the actor's voice in your head is going to scream out of.
Yeah,
scream off the page.
What did you think?
I thought it was pretty. I thought it captured. I mean, I thought it captured. 10-ish, like 10-ish.
Yeah.
Just know we don't know what 14's like.
No, I completely
even for a minute.
Yeah, I completely agree. We did get a lot of 10 in it, and I mean, considering who he,
so
Yeah, I mean, he's not. He was my doctor. Well, he's what I grew up with, but he wasn't my favorite ever.
He was a Matt Smith denier. He didn't like Matt Smith when he got cast, and then he's was like, no, I always thought
I saw him in the role, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant.
Okay.
And, yeah, and now I've got almost every action figure from Series 5, so
I had one figure of 11. It was him wearing the Stetson.
And now who owns that, Josh?
What?
Who owns that now?
You.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, you got the board game and all that kind of stuff, and the woman and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. All that. But yeah, I read it and I was like, oh, there's some new ideas, or the idea of a Dalek museum.
Yeah, or a fun fair, really.
Fun fair, yeah.
Amusement park, yeah.
Yeah, amusement park. I was like, it's one of those things where, like, why is no one in the show before making this actual?
I know. Well, I mean, I guess we kind of got closer to the Asylum of the Daleks,
but I'm thinking the idea of like, oh, what happened if on one side of the galaxy, the bad guys are seen as heroes. Like, oh, the Cybermen seems to be as heroes. Or like the Daleks, and we all like, I'm sorry, the what? What's wrong with you guys? And yeah, do you not understand what exterminate means?
That's true.
Yeah,
I liked it as a celebration of everything Dalek.
Yeah, and knowing that we might not get the Daleks for what, a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's not about palate cleanser.
No, it's not. No, it's more of a celebration of Dalek comics, going back to like TV comic back from like the 60s and stuff.
Right.
Which I have read some of.
Yeah. So I read it. I thought like, oh, this is neat. This is quite well put together. The art is we well good. Sometimes you go, yeah, that looks like Tennant. Yes, it does. Yep, it does.
Talking about the shadowy ones and when they just go really zoomed in on his face.
Yeah, I mean, mostly it's like the close-up thing. It's like occasionally when you close up and you get like the teeth one, and that's when you go like, yeah, okay, you capture him there.
Yes, that is true.
And also there's like that one image where he's having this like the 13 screwdriver.
Yes, you mean the shot that's directly out of Doomsday?
Yeah. I was like, I recognize that picture.
Yep.
I recognize that reference. I think someone's like, yep. Add some winkles on there.
Yeah.
I pictured like two photos for the artist, like two photos. One of what David Tennant looks like now, and the photo of Doomsday. Yeah. Even though he hasn't aged that much in the last 20 years.
I mean, no, he has not.
He has not. No. He has the Kyle Reeves thing, where it's like if he has a beard, it looks like he hasn't aged for the last like 20 years, and then the movie shaves it. You're like, yeah, you have age. You have age. Yep. Good. It's one of those things like wait 20 years and all that. Anyway, we are old. But anyway, yeah, I read it. I thought it's good. I thought it was, and I like the idea of like Dalek paint and fake Daleks thinking that they're real Daleks and okay.
The concepts behind it really are quite nice. In fact, I wouldn't actually mind if Big Finish actually adapted this at some point. Yeah, to actually get David Tennant's voice behind it, make it seem a little more official. Like, I personally do, but that would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, they got the script already done.
And it's not like they haven't done, comic strip adaptations before.
I mean, are we not going to see a comic adaptation of a couple of characters next week? Yes, we are.
Exactly.
Beep the meat, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Have you read or listened to the original?
Nope.
No? All right, well, I might send you something after we get off here.
Yeah, okay. So we went through Revelation. It's good. It's good. I think it's one of those things because we're talking about not the main. It's like okay, it's good. It's great. Recommend it if you will. I think they're binding it into a big collection thing. So
yeah,
into a hardcover or paperback.
So I don't know the issues individually, but I am definitely going to pre-order it because I don't know if they're going to miss out on like any interviews.
And then, of course, it leads to Destination Starlo.
Yes.
The new controversial of
Davros.
Davros is it? Yeah, I when I saw when I watched it first, because I was thinking, okay, we're gonna get something like Born Again, something like Time Crash, even that was Moffat writing it. I was like, something that's story driven, maybe has some jokes in there, but like it's very story based. And then it's like, no, this is a And apparently this is not a comedy skit, apparently. Even though it's a comedy skit. That's the definition of a comedy, there's a lot of belly laughs, and guess what? That's meant to be funny.
I think that we interpreted this scene entirely differently. I'd definitely take this as not a comedy scene, just with Murray Gull going all over the soundtrack.
Oh, it is a comedy scene. Unless the idea is like, look, unless it's the idea of a comedy scene, it's like the Dalek doing MasterChef or something. Like, if that's the idea of a comedy skit, I'm like, okay. But let's get the big elephant in the room. Darwash.
Yep.
He's out of the wheelchair. He's not starred.
Yeah, and what's so controversial about this, Josh?
What?
What's so controversial about this?
Well, I didn't realize he looked like Dr. Draken from Kim Possible. That was something.
He does too, doesn't he?
Yeah. Would you not be surprised if some, like Karen Gillan showed up as Kim Possible, and along with outside the TARDIS? I wouldn't be not shocked.
Ultimate fan casting. That's great.
What?
That is ultimate fan casting. That is great.
Yeah. I was like, who's a weird? Oh, Karen Gillan, but she's having fun. Who cares?
Disney money now.
Also, it's Disney, so they can easily do it. It's like that would be something. Wow, when I heard Doctor Who Disney thing, I thought they would try to cross over with the big two, not Disney Channel. It'll be interesting.
So, what is so controversial about this?
It's simply how I described it. It's that was not starred and he's in a wheel. Is that there's a worry that it might offend people who have disability, who have a disability that screams, if you have a disability, that you are evil.
Yeah. Completely understandable. I am not at all against that.
No, I don't get I understand the intention. Yeah. It just, I think what it is, it takes you a while to get used to because you're so used to like.
Well, I mean, with this scene in particular, I instantly jumped onto the fact that, okay, this is set before Genesis of the Daleks and the timeline. That is fine. And then after hearing Russell D. Davis' comments about how this is Davros moving forward, my first instant thought was, okay, cool. Just make him a Darth Maul type.
Yeah. The
legs.
Yeah. I mean, the way I kind of said to myself was like, they could also do the whole like, hey, have this version of Davros going on for a little bit. He gets the accident. He gets essentially do the origin story of Davros for a couple episodes or a couple seasons.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good way of going about
it. And so in a way, you kind of do. In a way, you piss off. But in a way, it's a way for them to say, look, this guy is always evil. This guy is So it doesn't matter if he's in a wheelchair or not, kind of thing.
That's pretty good idea.
Yeah, RTD, you can take it. No. And all that. And then I figure out, and then I see a mirror episode, a mirror article with the down tweeted as a real thing. That would be funny. But then it became. But most of the time it's, what are we going to call these creatures? Daleks, and the Doctor's the one who's
gives him
creates the name and the genesis and the catchphrase of the Daleks. I don't
know. See, I understand why people are pissed off at that, but I like it.
I think of what it is, it's like people thought we were going to get Time Crash, or thought they were going to get Born Again, and they got
a better scene than Time Crash or Born Again.
Well, I mean, I get it. I get it if you want like something a little bit more, character driven, a little bit more.
But it is character driven.
Doctor's
first real outing as the 14th Doctor.
I did like the line of like, was it 60 minutes ago? I was a brilliant woman. Kind of like going back to Woman Who Fell to Earth, to be like, 30 minutes ago, I was a white.
Right, Scotsman.
Yeah, a white-head Scotsman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that's a good point back. That's some good writing. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, also I'm like, it's children need. They're not. Probably is like a time and place where like, yeah, maybe if all the villains maybe don't get the guy who's evil in a wheelchair to be stit for charity for people who are disabled. Maybe not that be the smart thing.
I personally am a huge fan of this minisode.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, here's the thing. I did watch it a couple. I did watch it a couple more times.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, knowing what it was, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm fine. It's good. It's good. It's not the, you know, fantastic. It's not, let's say this. I'm waiting for the 60th, which is only like a week away. So, yeah,
As someone who has over the last 15 weeks binge watched 3 through to 11 Doctors, the span of 11 weeks or maybe 12, I appreciated it a lot more because I liked how it tied back to the original genesis of the Daleks.
Oh, so wouldn't people know what genesis of the Daleks even is? Like, I'm thinking of the average Joe.
No.
Yeah, so
I mean, this is, I watched it with my son.
Yeah.
And my fiance, she knew what it was.
Okay.
But my son, he didn't, and I had to explain it to him afterwards.
No, let's watch it. That's what you said. Let's all.
Yeah, basically, as soon as there's new Doctor Who, I'm like, I'm watching this. I'm not. I'm not.
No, well, no. As in like, oh, what's Genesis of the Daleks? Well, let me get this DVD out.
Believe me, I've got a whole plan. He is.
Isn't it like what I hear is like the most mature, classic era story there?
Yeah, I'm not going to start with that.
No.
He already likes the Matt Smith era, so that's all.
You start. If you want to dive into the classic era, you just like, oh, what's like a Matt Smith type?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that.
So, actually, I'll start with the animated ones.
Oh yeah, the animated ones. Got Underworld Menace yet, or?
No, that doesn't get released here for a while. But I might just pre-order a copy on the UK from the UK.
Okay. I was like, Zabby, cool, Zabby. Oh, wait, it's not updated here. Damn it! It stopped at Wakanda Forever and Black Adam. Like that's been a year ago. So yeah, children need. Yeah, it was a stit. It was fine. It was good. We had a little clip of Doctor Who Unleash.
Yes. Have you watched Doctor Unleashed?
I saw the preview clip.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it's
It's Confidential, but with a host.
Yeah. Which I mean, if you're, I mean, it's good. It's good to have a behind the scenes thing around.
Absolutely. I wasn't really Confidential to begin with, so I'm just like, I don't really need to watch this.
Yeah. I mean, is it cool to see like table readings and
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you've been to
I remember. I think it was like Planet of the Dead, where it was like when they were like doing the script readings and then transferred to and then transitioned to the actual episode itself. Like, yeah, because I think it was like five whole burgers, do it now. How saying that line in the table read kind of thing. But anyway, Children of Need, we did pretty. You thought it was pretty good. I thought it was like my second, third watching. Thought it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. Yeah, like I mean, as many people said online, I did not like Murray Gold's score. It was way too over the top.
It's a comedy. It's meant to give you the laughs,
but it doesn't. Do understated and let the things speak for itself.
Mm. Yeah.
Speaking of which, what do you think of the new theme song?
Why? That was the one thing I didn't react to. Yeah. Well, yeah, because when they did the 15 Doctors theme and the Movie Sundays theme, I just like, oh, I'll record my reaction to it. Yeah. And I just like it's for me. It's like it's the Doctor Who theme. You know what I mean?
To me,
I like the
Murray Gold doing Murray Gold to the Doctor Who theme again.
I mean, I kind of like the idea. It's like, oh, you're merging you're switching the theme that's normally 2 minutes long into a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, are you trying to put the whole?
Are you positive on the theme?
Yeah, positive on it.
I'm you know,
Yeah.
as someone that kind of prefers the more weird versions of the theme, like the Seventh Doctor's or Whittaker's, I just thought this is just series 4 again, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, also in my head, I'm thinking it's just trying to be, hey, let's make it so theatrical. Let's make it feel like it's a movie a week, and knowing we have a bigger budget and all that.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because what now they have because you got the Disney money, you got the BBC money mixed with the Sony money.
Yeah.
You got
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that is like. Whew.
So they can make 2 deals: Spider-Man and Doctor Who.
But they did just have a Spider-Man watch doing a Doctor Who comic, so they did that. So that now they know which one to grab, if they ever did it. Let's see here. Let's talk about. There's a rumor going around about a possible spin-off of the Eighth Doctor.
Yes.
Which is, and now this is from the Mirror, but they have a decent track record.
Not with this writer though.
No, by this wire. By the way, the Mirror also broke something like yesterday.
Did they?
About the next colorization, which is the War Games.
The War Games. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I feel bad for those people who have to edit the War Games down to like at least
an hour and a half
hours.
Yeah. That's right. You've actually watched the War Games now.
Yeah.
Oh. So you actually know the pain of watching that episode.
Yeah. I was like, this is good. Why is it dragging on so much?
It's because they had to try and fill out 52 weeks of the year. That's why.
I'm like, wait, and like the last episode is really good. Like the final, Second Doctor, episode is really good.
Yes, I agree. The stuff on Gallifrey is very good.
Gallifrey and Time Lords and all that. But then you're thinking, everybody, the Daleks. Everybody knows that the Dalek story, the first ever story of Doctor Who. We know it's not, but it's now seems like it is now.
Although, have you seen that someone for the 50th anniversary, for the 60th anniversary, is releasing a adaptation of the first chapter of the Daleks novelization where Ian and Barbara meet?
Ian and Barbara meet, but did they not already meet?
There's a different version of events in the Dalek novelization.
Okay.
They're adapting that to animation.
Wait, do you have the novel?
I do have them. Yes.
I try to remember if I gave you that.
Yes, you did. I do have that. I have read the chapter, especially all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it basically they meet in the middle of. It's been also since I've read it, but yes, they meet in the middle of a field instead of and then they just go run into the TARDIS and then they go off to Skara.
Wow. That's a very different events. What about
it takes the events, changes the location of the first episode, negates the
Grandor bit.
the caveman adventure.
Yeah.
And just goes from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels like they didn't even have the rights to do, even to mention Unearthly Child or the Child God, whatever you want to
It's
call
not like they didn't have the rights to it. It's just they the novelizations a lot of the time are very different from the TV stories.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure the guy
have you read any of have you read The Rose and the Day of the Doctor?
They're impossible to find here.
Really?
I'd love to read them, but I cannot find them. Whenever I go onto like Dinners or anything.
Rose is gonna be quite interesting, and you're what Day of the Doctor, that could be quite interesting. The way knowing how, like, one is completely complex and one is like so simple in its plot, and you think, how do you make that?
I've listened to the audio book of Day of the Doctor,
and
yes, it is. It's more.
It's more, but
yeah.
So Moffat was like, I had this idea that never, because we didn't have the budget for it.
Weird, right? Because I remember when he was adapting that.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know how to adapt my script into a book, and yet that's how he got into Doctor Who, from reading the novelizations.
Yeah.
And yet he doesn't know how to write the novelizations
of his own.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. It means in a way. It's nice to also know that Once Upon a Time was originally meant to be 90 minutes, and then the BBC is like cut 30 out. Yeah. So that one will be quite interesting. Where you'd be okay, what you can easily just add the stuff that didn't made it.
Well, Disney money coming around, just put that stuff back in and put it up as a special thing on Disney Plus.
Yeah. So the War Games is getting co-wise.
Yes.
It's just cut. There's a lot of fat on it. Just
basically what you need to do is the setup, and then you have to do them trying to get the attention of the Time Lords. That is all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Daleks is stuck. What's it? 7 parts, I think the story is. So if I remember.
That always felt like a slog to me as well.
Yeah, I remember. Like, really, this is the story. This is the story that made them the big,
I can see quite a bit out of it.
And then you said, actually it's the next one. It's the invasion of the Dalek invasion that made them the big bads of the face of the show, pretty much.
Yeah. Of those two stories, have you watched the Peter Cushing movies?
Nope.
No, I wouldn't bother about them.
Well, what I heard is like, what, he's a human. He and the TARDIS it's not a time. Well, it's a time machine, but it's also a laboratory.
Yes.
Now you talk about 10 being human, being too human of a doctor.
This guy's just called Doctor Who. He's not even called the Doctor.
He's Mr. Who, pretty much.
Yes, and his nieces, Susan Who and Barbara Who.
If Dr. Seuss written that script, I would not be shocked. That's how I would say. That sounds like something you would, bring it to hair.
They're not bad. It's a different take on.
Yeah, it's basically a remake of those two stories, pretty much, into a movie format.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen them many times. They've been on Channel 9 here and Channel 7 here occasionally, and I've watched them then. I've got the DVD. So if I want to watch them, I can, but I don't think, apart from doing like a full marathon again during through everything, I will probably watch them ever again.
Yeah, he's like, when the senior comes up, maybe, and then you'll be like doing holograms and whatever we're up to with technology. Right. Anyway, War Games colonization. I just heard about it. I thought Cookie dropped it. So the Eighth Doctor, apparently getting a spin-off. That's kind of what we know. And so the concept of the Doctor, who had one appearance, which was a TV movie.
Yep.
And has basically the longest career as a Doctor, just because of Big Finish.
Yeah.
Is getting the series.
he didn't start. He started after 6 and 7, and 5, 6, and 7 did at Big Finish.
I mean, was he the first one?
No, fourth person in.
Oh, okay.
The three ones that aren't Tom that are still surviving. They first one. They started off as a multi-doctor story.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it was so popular, they spun it off into all this stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, now we have like Big Finish is now the WDCU, the Doctor Who Cinematic Universe, pretty much in audio form.
Yeah, it'll be Disney Plus.
Yeah. When I hear Doctor Who going Marvel, I'm like, oh, so you're just making Big Finish into a TV format. That's basically what you're doing. But the funny thing,
experience. How much of Paul McGann have you experienced?
The movie, basically all the live action appearances.
Oh, okay. So you haven't delved into the Big Finish or anything?
Well, I timed with Victoria, so that's kind of
right. Yeah.
When I covered the entire thing, which I don't believe I did. Yeah.
There is a lot of ground covered, so it's going to be very interesting to see what they actually pick from and how they try and make it new. It's going to be.
I mean, they could always adapt a story or two, or adapt a story.
That is true. Like anything from
the
Charlie era, or the who's the other one?
The Flood Sidemen.
What's the other one? Lucy Miller. Either of those they could adapt, and I think they'd be fine. They've got like 5 seasons between them each.
Get Harry Atwell back as what the Empress of the Daleks or whatever her character was. Yeah. All I know there's the Flood Sidemen. That think when you go through the Sidemen, you're like, wait, where's that one from? And you go, oh, that's from one of the Oyo. That's from Big Finish. And then I know Harry Atwell was in like a story.
Yes.
At like the beginning of her career, and I know there's a story called Spare Parts that people really like, which is a Sidemen story that acts like a horror movie.
That's the 5th, not.
Isn't it 6? Yeah.
No. That's Jubilee you're thinking of, which is the inspiration for Dalek. Part, I believe. Hang on, unless I'm wrong, I'll just look it up. Big Finish. Pretty sure it's
because I remember.
Yeah, it's Peter Davison. Yeah.
Oh, it's Davison. Yeah, I just hear a lot of people like, hey, it's like listen to that one. It's like a Simon horror movie. They should adapt that into something modern. And I mean,
considering how much I don't really like Peter Davison, I have never listened to any of his Big Finish stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with the concept of here's the Doctor who didn't basically have a season, let's say a live action series. Finally getting one is appealing, and also gives you a sense like here's the new stuff, but we're honoring the past as well. But it also gives you a sense like, are they going to spin off other Doctors? But who do you
I personally think that I think that maybe they should just do Paul McGann.
Just A and that's it?
Yeah.
I did thought like maybe as animation do 7 and do like it's treat it as season 27.
Yeah. Well, I mean they've adapted those stories.
Okay. Yeah.
I listened to them recently.
But I mean like from like have the animation you can actually have.
Yeah. I've figured out a perfect way that you could do it, and it would make it feel really unique. Well, not unique, but like it fits in with the missing episodes of the show already. Just make them telesnap reconstructions.
Those are the only Doctor Who episodes of the classic series I have not watched because I did not want to watch the slideshow.
They are better if you line them up with the officially released BBC soundtrack versions of the episodes.
Yeah.
because you've got the audio narration, you've got the pictures, and then you've also got the text on the screen. There's enough in there that stimulates it, makes you feel like you're actually watching the episodes without actually having to watch them. That's what I personally felt when I had to watch them. But you know what? Space Pirates still can't get into.
Space Pirates? Nope.
Yeah, the second to last Patrick Troughton story.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised I haven't done Marco Polo out of all of them, because isn't that like the only? That's the only first season.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
So you could be like, remember collection editions, and you know.
Yeah.
I thought they might do it this year, but you know.
Are you collecting the collection sets?
Nope.
No, me neither. I've already got them on DVD. I have no reason to get those.
So you're not gonna be like I mean, in a way, you got a collector's item now. No, it's the unearthly child. So you keep, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like me saying, it's like, hey, I own an episode of The Simpsons that people will never see the light of day, and it's the Michael Jackson episode.
What season's that?
3.
I've got it.
Yeah. See, we both technically got a collector's item because.
So they don't release that on Disney Plus or anything anymore?
No, because if you go
because of Michael Jackson, of course,
if you go to season 3 of the show, it just goes to 2. If you're that person, what happened to 1? You'd be like, it's the Michael Jackson episode.
Yeah.
And they'll go, it's like, but Lisa is your birthday. Yeah, still, no. All that.
That's the point.
That's the point. We have to pretend this guy doesn't exist. But yeah, I mean, there was also that rumor. Was it Partners in Time? Which was basically it was like we have the main show, but essentially the 3 specials being a backdoor pilot for like a spin-off.
With 14 and Donna.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I want to. I think for the 60th, it makes sense. And also, I have a feeling this might be the last time we're going to see Tennant, or at least in TV.
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, in general.
I don't know if I've brought this up before to you, but I've had this thought recently. They're trying to make a big mystery out of why is David Tennant, why is Ten's face back on the Doctor and everything?
Why is the old faces back? Yeah.
Yeah. But really, when you think about it, when you consider the comics, when you consider the video games that 13 has had, what face popped up more than anyone else's? David Tennant's.
Do you think it has to do with, 1, he's the fan favorite? Well, he's the fan favorite. But 2, it's also meta reasons, because we all know Whittaker and Tennant are basically besties.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think it has to be a little bit of meta and also ideas of the show.
But when you think of the entire era, not just the TV show, but also the expanded media, his face popped up a lot.
Definitely during COVID.
If we know anything from, we had 2 comic runs. We had the one where it was him in Blink, except just different, and then we had another one where it was him and Whittaker versus Sea Devils.
Sea Devils, where like it's season 4 woes. I actually saw that comic trailer. I was like, this sounds interesting, and yeah, but was it good? Or do you not wear it?
I have it downloaded. I haven't actually read it yet, but I was also interested in it. I was like, this kind of seems pretty cool. And then you've also got the video game Edge of sequel.
And who shows up in Time of Victorious? 13 shows up.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's not like, if you take Peter Capaldi's Doctor into account, being like, oh, why did I choose this face? Clearly, faces from the past influence. So, of course, the one face he's sure above everyone else's, even Yaz's, is going to be influencing her.
Yeah. I mean, also, ever since the 50th, I'm like, did Tennant ever really left?
Especially with Time Lord Victorious and everything, yeah.
But with him, well, I'm thinking like him doing Big Finish and that.
That's true.
Yeah, like, which I listened to like the first all three volumes of the 10 Doctor, what's it, 10 Doctor Adventures? And
yes, I haven't delved into that yet. That is
it, and I would say there's one Donna story that's from the first season, for the first volume, that's really good. Called the Queen Death, or Definitely.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that on the back of one of the Doctor Who magazines
Yeah,
from back then.
yeah. That one's that was really good. That's basically Donna. It's one of those, Donna gets married to a royal family, and but oh shit, but she's gonna also be a sacrifice to death and all that. And also, yeah, but also if you want the 10th Doctor acting a little bit more alien, that's the story you go for.
Oh, too little, too late.
But like, it's just this part where he's just like trying to like think, be like thinking this is it. Donald's be gone. Donald's gonna just stay here. He's gonna be back at the TARDIS. He's like, why you guys are so quickly married? Why are you humans so quickly getting married? Oh, two hearts, short lifespans, I suppose. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, and all that. There's only, but I will say this: the Donna stuff is the way the 2 and 3 are probably the best ones they out of that entire set.
Okay.
Yeah, the Rose stuff.
Oh, did he do a season with Rose? Did he?
Yeah, they did like volume 1 and 3, which is both Donna, and then there was one where it's Daytona and Billy Piper doing.
Then why the hell hasn't she returned for Christopher Eccleston?
I don't know. And they also did a little bit with like Pete's World.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. It could be like, hey, she did a little bit of it. It could be like, hey, I did Big Finish.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't she want to go back and like, be with the Doctor that got her, like, into Doctor Who in the first place?
That's a fair point. I don't know. Anyway, uh, anyway, no, I lost my track. Anyway, spin-offs.
Yes.
But it's interesting. There was a rumor going around that there was like them doing like a Have You Caking It too, where it's like, okay, we're moving on with the main show with Judy Gaffer, but don't worry, Tennant's still around. Guys, rumor, but I was like, I kind of, it's like, as much as I'm a fan of his version of the character, as much as I'm a fan of him as an actor, I think it's time to move on from. Yeah. And also, people feel a little bit like 3 episodes with 2.5 hours with the X, and then we move to the next guy. That's basically what people kind of feel like.
I mean, my main takeaway from it, and I'm still kind of feel this way, is that it's just going to be series 4.5.
Maybe the first episode will feel like that.
Yeah, I'm just.
Because here's the thing: the Wild Blue Wonder, we know nothing about.
Considering how I wasn't really a series 4 enjoyer, even when it was new, I'm just like, this just seems like we're just going back to 2008.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the 60th anniversary, not the 15th, 16th year anniversary.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that comes to my head is like Blue Wild Wonder? We know nothing about.
Yeah, that is true.
All we know is like it's not something for kids. It's too silly. All we know is that.
That's the one where we might get
Cameos.
A few cameos from previous Doctors or something like that.
Yeah,
but apart from that, we know nothing.
This is when it's going to be cameos galore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: do you think 13's going to show up?
It would be cool, but no.
Yeah, it could be like she just left.
Exactly. I mean, even
I thought maybe I thought you might do a deep breath thing where it's like,
That's true. But there'll be no point in doing that because there's no companion there that was also with Whittaker.
But I'm thinking something like that. or something.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, where it's like, because I also in my head I'm thinking, what was big between between the 50th and the 60th? Oh shit, we have a female doctor, where the doctor was a woman for a bit. Yeah, so I thought like that's a good way to, and all I will say, I'm looking forward to whatever. I'm waiting for James Gunn to cast her to cast Whitaker or whatever DC character DC villain she's going to be, because that seems to be a habit.
That is true.
Yeah. And I am having no doubt she's going to do Big Finish. But the way she's.
Oh, I've got no doubt in that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there was that one interview that's like, oh, would you want to come back? And she's, screaming, yes, please bring me back, and all kind of stuff. So. Yeah. I'm like, because everybody's thinking, well, Apaldi seems not be interested of it. Maybe clearly Matt Smith's not interested in Big Finish or something.
I mean, he's still got a career, so
yeah, sure.
He's doing fine. I think that probably, you give it 15 more years, he might be more lenient.
Big Finish. So it's like, okay, time to say Geronimo 5 times a day.
As someone who adores Series 5, I would kill for more Series 5 adventures.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so I mean, here's the thing: animated spin-offs they could do, they did. That's what I could see them do if they want to do dive into the classic era or something, but and not in animated recreations. Like, oh, here's a story that we didn't see.
I mean, there are 2 complete audio seasons that they could easily fans are already animating Colin Baker's 3rd season.
Oh yeah,
they're already doing it.
Yeah.
So that could easily be a way to actually go about doing that.
Yeah.
You don't want to you give Colin Baker the money that he should have got for his 3rd season.
Yeah.
Inflated, of course, because it's been 30, 40 years at this point.
Yeah.
And then just adapt those. Do it in the same way as you did Charlotte.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, because we don't know much about it, that just outside it's a spin-off. It's just like, would we like to see it? Yes, we would. It would be nice.
It could just be part of that unit spin-off that was rumored a while ago.
Could be. I mean, I think it's confirmation because it was Deadline, or one of the major trades was reporting it's a clear unit that's happening. I think this is not the BBC is not saying they just haven't officially said it pretty much, and that. So let's next on the list.
I think the only other thing we really have to talk about now is something that I sadly didn't get time to listen to or watch. Was Tales from the TARDIS.
Did we talk about the unearthly child thing a little bit?
Oh no, shit! Yeah, we should probably do that first. Yeah. We'll do that, and then we'll do Tales of the TARDIS.
Tales of the TARDIS. Yeah, I'm just looking for the list. Anyway, so it's on iPlayer at the BBC that you lucky bastards at the UK can have.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain ways around it.
Yes, there's some ways. Sorry, this is me trying to do a little bit of humor. I am born. I was raised by British humor, so I try and be a little bit dry. But essentially one of the big things was, hey, if you're in the UK and Ireland, you can watch every single Doctor Who episode ever made from the 9 through the 60 years, including spin-offs and Class and K9 and Company and.
But not K9.
Oh no, not K9. Don't forget this K9. Torchwood, and 7 Day Adventures and all that kind of stuff. And what came out was every single episode was going to be there in the classic series, except 4. And that 4 was the first 4 ever episodes, which is The Unearthly Child, because of White's issues, because White's back in 1963 were not the same as it is now. It's basically
because Anthony Coburn.
Yep.
His son, which I do not remember right now, he wanted money from the BBC.
I mean, they offered him money. That's the thing.
But it wasn't enough.
And it says the limit is like, I think it's like what, 25 grand. I think it was.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like you give me 25 grand for BBC. I'm happy to take that.
I gladly take it. Yeah. I mean, that's basically 50.
Also, for me, also, when I hear the words, you're not just dealing with BBC, you're also messing with Disney. I'm like, I don't want to mess with the mouse.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Sorry, unearthly. A unearthly child, not the unearthly child. No. Anyway, so yeah. So the Sun has now the rights to the first 4 episodes. Unearthly Child. What was it? Unearthly Child. Trying to remember the other 3.
Unearthly Child, The Cave of Skulls. Oh no, that's just off the top of my head. But the other, because I just like the title, Cave of Skulls.
Yeah.
Tribe of Gum.
Tribe of Gum, which actually was the actual story for the entire thing originally, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that's what he says, but no one's ever called it that.
Yeah. Also, apparently,
Cave of Skulls. Sorry, no. Tribe of Gum was never one of them. Forest of Fear, The Firemaker.
That's what it is. Anthony Colden, who wrote.
Yes.
Yeah, wrote it. But the son of him is like, nope, BBC, you ain't getting those 4 episodes because my father was treated wrongly, and he should, so F you, BBC, F you, BBC, you're not getting them. Essentially, in a nutshell, if you check the guy's Twitter account,
it's something else.
Something else, and you may go like, okay, yeah, better luck for the senior.
I mean, look, as far as I'm concerned, I think he's justified in thinking that his father was partially, his health was put at risk by the BBC.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, did his father got screwed by the BBC? Probably.
No one's probably doubting that at all.
No, I mean,
but the racist stuff, nah, that's not good.
No. For me, I'm like, look, all I would say is like, okay, how much would it be? He's 50 or something.
Yeah.
Or have the lawyers or something to do, because it is one of those things like you don't want to have every time you want to do something with it have to go and ask people's permission. Because the idea is like, this is the IP, you own it.
Mm-hmm.
Ish. You don't own all of it. And
exactly.
Like
he owns the rights, I think, to 1 episode of the script.
What?
I think it's episode 3, Forest of Fear.
Well, Wikipedia, the great source of information, but what it says on Wiki is apparently he wasn't all of it, and then there's someone else, C.E. Weber, is the only one who did the first episode.
Oh, okay. I honestly, from what I was reading on Twitter when he was having that tirade, I thought it was just episode 3.
Apparently, his father created TARDIS. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, who cares? Okay, that, and it's not the blue box. It's not the word TARDIS. It's the time. What's it? Time
mentioned in space. Yeah,
it's all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, at the end of the day, like it was like literally 60, probably for them 61 years ago. Because it probably took them a bit to actually make it. So for them, probably it's 61 years ago, and they say, oh, what we call it, TARDIS, and there it was. Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, the 10 Nation thing. I know the bits and bobs of that. Apparently, the whole they need to show up once a season. Apparently, that's a bunch of rubbish. Apparently now, so we can put that thing to rest. Apparently, Russell Davis went on Instagram and said no, that's rubbish. That's not true. So that apparently the whole Darlington show once a season.
Then why have they been in every season then?
Yeah. I always say Chibnall did a very smart way to work around it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Once a year special, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of 2 years in a way. Like it's kind of you're kind of having them once every 2 years. Definitely how they were spacing out during that era. But I mean, it's legal rights. It's look, we're not copyright lawyers.
No.
So sure, I have taken some unit courses that have dealt with copyright, and I'll tell you, explaining copyright is a completely different thing, which is essentially, essentially I come up with the idea, I own it. That's essentially how it works basically in here.
Wow, that's probably the way it should work.
Yeah, versus America where you have to jump 45 hoops to actually get it, to get the actual copyright. So it's quite basically one of the things. It's just like you need to, if someone steals your idea, you better have to keep all the documentation to, prove it's actually yours. But it's copyright. That's all it is, and it's that weird thing. If I was, BBC and probably also Disney, I'll probably be like, sucks. But even though it does sound like Disney doesn't really care about the past, they care about
next year stuff that they've actually got a hand in.
Yeah, because it sounds because Disney hasn't really marketed much about the 60th, if you think about it.
Especially not here. I mean, I've heard that over in like Japan and stuff, you can actually go onto the Disney Plus website and you actually see a thing that says
coming soon. Yeah.
But here, nope.
No, I was good. I was like, okay, there's that Christmas thing, Indy 5. Wait, hold on a second. Jump into Echo. There's a show. There's a big sci-fi show between those two.
Yeah, so I'm personally very worried about that it might not even come out here.
I'm hearing for us it's still the next day.
So, well, that sucks because some people.
The Christmas special is going to be on Boxing Day, pretty much.
I mean that doesn't really bother me that much because if you think of like the big movies that come out here, everything always gets released on Boxing Day instead of Christmas here.
Yeah, but basically it's like we get it like around what was it, like 5:30 in the morning?
Was that for Series 8?
No, for like I remember with like the iView time where like
yes, it was about 5:30 in the morning. Yes,
6:30 depending on daylight saving, all that. Yeah. I mean, it could be that. Oh, if that's the case,
it could be, but they should at least have some promotion on the bloody website. Like if you type in Doctor into Disney Plus, all that comes up is Doctor Strange and Doogie Howser.
I mean, the Doogie Howser, they got.
No, I know. I made the connection myself.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you're close enough, guys. Okay.
Look, I mean, that's one of the cast members from the new specials.
But what about the there's not even a Jessica Jones over there. Like how?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you're not even advertising the actors. Yeah. I mean, it does feel like Disney are like, maybe not in Christmas, no, but they're like season 14 onwards, they're going to like put the brakes, pump the, basically start. That's when the marketing's going to hit. Hopefully.
It'd be nice to have actual Doctor Who marketing over here.
Yeah, or like it'll be nice to see billboards everywhere. It'll be nice to be. Like,
I mean, if they could have that stupid one in the city of like, Buzz Lightyear for 7 months after the damn movie flopped.
I mean, to be fair, I would. I mean, if there's ever Doctor Who land, I'm happy to fly over there, go to Disney, and.
I can assure you, as soon as there's a Doctor Who theme park, I will be saving up money to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I've spent half of my life looking at this damn show.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be like there's the generation wide, and it'd be like you get to kill the Doctor in 6 minutes. No,
I wouldn't do that.
no, but well, it could be like sorry, that is dark. That is absolutely dark. Yeah, but yeah, I'm picturing it. We're going to get Marvel crossovers, Star Wars crossovers. We're going to get Disney.
One thing I did think of moving forward.
Yeah.
Are you aware of who is technically a Marvel Comics character?
Captain Britain?
No. Doctor Who character who is technically a Marvel Comics character.
Is it Beat the Beep?
No, it is Sylvester McCoy and Paul McGann as the Doctor.
They show up first?
They appear in Marvel Comics back in the 80s and 90s, respectively.
I mean, the only thing I can think
about... So technically, we could see the Doctor in the MCU.
Here's a good question. If they did a crossover between Marvel and Star Wars, which one do you think would fit better?
Like, which Doctor?
Well, that's the question, right?
Oh.
Like, if in general, they say, hey, there's going to be a Disney crossover, and it's going to be between the main two.
I'm just going to be honest, I can't see any of them crossing over.
Yeah. You know,
the Doctor is just...
I mean, there's a part of me.
If you're going for it, I guess probably.
I mean, I think the image of like stormtroopers next to Daleks might actually.
Work. If you can do it with Star Trek, with Cybermen and the Borg, they can certainly do it with Doctor Who.
Yeah. I mean, if they did Marvel, I would pick pick a character.
Well, I mean, I'd honestly want to see what they were originally going to do back in the 90s. They were going to do a crossover between the Seventh Doctor and Doctor Strange. I want that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who would be. I'm trying to think even like the thing is also I'm thinking who would work in a Doctor Who environment if they did the whole like Iron Man and Doctor Who thing. I don't. That's a tricky one. I don't know.
Yeah, because like Doctor Who can do everything. I
got one. Davos meets Daredevil.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, to talk about the Sable, I mean, you got like Professor X, you got Oracle of DC, you got Daredevil, Echo. She's there. Yeah, even though even though somehow a trailer made me look forward to that show. Yeah, I saw Hawkeye. I was like, I don't have no reason why I should care about this spin-off outside of this one set two characters from another show that outside Daredevil and Kingpin. But anyway, yeah, it is weird. Like thinking Disney and you're just thinking the Empire, what they would do and all that kind of thing. Because I heard this great saying, it's kind of true. Disney is not in the filmmaking business; they're in the theme park business.
Well, yeah, they are. It's definitely the case. Yeah, Disney is much more of a theme park thing. They always have been.
But as in, like, they are there to make things popular so they can put things in their theme parks.
Yeah, just look at how they butchered Star Wars and just to make a pretty cool Millennium Falcon ride.
And all that. Yeah. I mean, the TARDIS showing up on Tatooine, that actually Star Wars probably fits better with Doctor Who, probably, because you think of all these.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, think of these things about, like, the Doctor showing up in New York. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, wow, but the Doctor showing up at Tatooine, even though we're like, oh, fucking hell, Tatooine again, we'll be like, oh, well, or like the Doctor holding a lightsaber or something, I don't know. Even it wouldn't be the most character.
The Emperor meeting the Time Lords.
Star Wars meeting the Emperor, that would probably be...
Yeah.
I mean, probably that could be the way to go and be like, you kind of Yeah. Now the whiter in me is starting to think of these ideas, aka all these ideas of like this is how this could actually work. Anyway, um, Han Solo driving the TARDIS. Now that's a thing.
Yeah.
And
That'd be funny.
yeah, it'll be funny. What is this kid? Yeah, kid, I'm 900 years old now. Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
One last thing.
one last thing.
Tales of the TARDIS.
Tales of the TARDIS. Which when I saw the length of these, I thought they were like, holy shit, really? They did 6 days? That took
Yeah.
a whole 2 hour thing, and then you're like, no, it's not 2 hours. They're bookends.
No. It's like 15 minutes.
It's like 10 minutes each. Yeah. It's very easy to think that if you see the time, the length of these.
But yes, it is basically omnibus versions of the episodes with just the bookends of either side. Which, having only seen the Curse of Fenric one, as when these were released, I just watched Curse of Fenric.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was short. It treaded a lot of the same ground as what Power of the Doctor did with their little scene together.
Yeah.
But so I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, this is probably a niche way for like people who've never seen the classic series.
Yeah.
To tap in and be like, and also I couldn't help but joke about like, are these Washington Davis's like favorites? Like here's his top 10 list basically of the best stories.
Although if you've seen certain bits of Vengeance and Varos, and you remember that Russell P. Davis is not straight, you can kind of see why he would probably pick that one as one of his favorites.
Okay, yep. And
it's got the shirtless son of Sean Connery.
Oh, okay.
Right, like the first couple of seconds, almost like, okay, yeah, that makes sense for you.
yeah. But there's also I'm surprised they haven't brought back the Wani.
Oh yeah,
that's one.
Do you remember 2008?
Yeah, I remember 2008.
Do you remember Mrs. Foster from Partners in Crime?
I remember 2008 because I watched that. I remember I did a whole marathon of it.
Yeah, I know. Right? But do you remember when in the trailer for that she showed up a sonic screwdriver?
Yeah.
Heaps of people online thought that she was going to be the Rani.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, the big thing is Susan going to show up in this? That's the big thing. Makes sense.
I wouldn't mind, although I would feel sad for Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
Because one thing he really wanted, actually two people he really wanted to bring into it. One was David Bowie. He died.
Yeah.
Two, he wanted to meet the Doctor's granddaughter as the Doctor.
Yeah, it makes sense because that was also a good way to cap in the like one day I shall come back. Well, you haven't come back, dude. Like you just still you change your face, and also anytime anytime someone mentions granddaughter, you're like, shut up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Big Finish have kind of had the name.
Yeah, isn't it also hinted that she died in the Time War or something quite early or something?
Yes, in Susan's War, it's hinted at that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, oh no, early on because I'm thinking the Day of the Doctor is like, oh, the time, I'm the last of the Time Lords. No, you ain't, because you're close to them. But here's the thing, like the thing about Susan is when they created her, they didn't know that generation was going to be a thing and Time Lords and all that, but now we do. So Susan can kind of be played by anyone.
That is true.
It doesn't need to be. It'll be also a nice big reveal where it's like, I don't know, Donna's Susan or Rose Noble's Susan or something. I don't know.
What about if Ruby's Susan?
That would be a thing. That would be like the Doctor's granddaughter. But here's the thing: how much of a clean slate do they want it to be?
I mean, they're calling it season 1.
Yeah, I mean, But here's the thing: how much of a clean slate do they want to be? How much of like, let's not talk about the other stuff until like season 3 or something, kind of like what they did last time
with Chibnall.
No, but what I'm trying to think, like even with
with the Russell,
yeah,
Russell Davis era, the first
yeah,
one,
they didn't mention the classic era until like what the next Doctor or something.
I mean,
I don't remember.
Dalek had an invasion Cyberman head.
No, that's true. But that's probably was a little wink, a bit like, hey, if, yeah. But the thing about Tales of the TARDIS, I was thinking if they did this for modern stories, what would it be? And I was thinking maybe Doomsday, and that's kind of like basically you combine Army Ghost and Doomsday into one. That's and
Angels Take Manhattan.
Angels Take Manhattan. I'm trying to maybe the 11th Hour. If you just want, if you just want
with the Doctor and Amy and Rory coming there.
Yeah, I mean, or you just want the Doctor and Amy, and that's kind of
You'd want the whole TARDIS team.
You want the whole three, the Doctor and Wither.
That would work.
That would work. Yeah. So
I know what you could do for that.
Which one?
Have 14 in like the wedding, in like his what was it? The 2-part Vasnarada episode. Have it be
Signs of the Library and what's it? Force of the Dead or something.
Yeah. This is one I can never remember the name of.
The only time I yawned after that marathon.
Oh, I don't know. I like those 2 episodes.
Yeah, there's certain scenes I liked.
I like it because it's basically a backdoor pilot for the entirety of Series 5.
Yeah, because now you know what.
Yeah. The Forest of Drillium.
But like that like the scene where essentially Wither says goodbye to the Doctor. That's a really good scene.
You
but the last 10 minutes off is pretty good.
Yeah. Actually, having watched that again recently as well, I'd say the first episode is very good. Cut out all the stuff with Donna in the virtual reality world.
Maybe you'll do a little hint to say, yeah, this is where she is, but cut most of it. Yeah.
That's the stuff that I've always had a problem with ever since I first watched it on DVD. I was like, well, since I watched it on the ABC, I was like, this is really bad.
Yeah. I'll be like, okay, what's her life in? Okay, she has a, regular life, and she's doing WandaVision stuff and going through, and that, basically. And those everything do at the beginning with the Vasarada, and that's a really neat concept, which I'm
basically I'd say do that, except do it with 14 and River post Wedding of River song.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking of like, I'm very surprised also they haven't brought back the Vasarada because
they did in Series 5 Adventure Game.
No, but in the actual show proper, because it just keeps it's just a shadowy corner. It's very
I am actually very surprised that they didn't do that either.
Yeah, because knowing that their budget, at the time, the budget is like $1 million per episode.
Yeah.
You're thinking, well, have 2 episodes or episode 2 where you just save cash on the villain. Yeah. I know. I'm thinking like there's good scenes. Even that scene where the first time we realized there's they're like the first person who goes, and there's that they're basically hearing her slowly die pretty much. I was like, God damn, Jesus. But I would start thinking about, could they do this for like now that the revival era? That's I was curious what we'll call the previous era. Call the revival era.
Yeah.
It's simple. Yeah.
The revival era, and this one the Disney era.
Disney era. because I was thinking, what, this is going to be new Who, and I'm like, yeah, kind of. But and I get it why they're going back to series 1 and that, marketing wise, and it's easier to mark someone season 1 than season 14, and also here's this big budget, and then you go and watch season 1, and it's farting. Yeah, you're seeing the cheap CGI and farting.
As someone that really does like series 1, I don't have any problem with the CGI in that series.
No, but also the back of my head, I know it's 2005.
Do a bit of work.
Also, I'm like, you see, also I'm like, it's 2005, and also you might have to educate some people of like what's these game shows that in Bad Wolf, but outside of that, you kind of
I mean, Big Brother's back, so I guess it's probably not that bad.
Big Brother, Weakest Link.
Weakest Link came back for a little bit.
There was even an American version of it. Yeah, and then I never. What was the one that Jack was in? I don't. What was the deal of that? The fashion one. But yeah.
Oh, that was What Not to Wear.
Okay, so that's like the one show that didn't kind of cross over here.
I watched it once because I saw it on TV after I watched 2000. The new series. Oh, this is what they're parodying here.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I was sort of thinking of that. If Capaldi did one, it probably would be. Well, I mean, you can always do the Pena thing.
I guess you could have done friggin' one where it's just him talking to himself.
Oh, yeah. It probably would be. Was it Heaven? Was it Heaven Sent? Yeah, Heaven Sent. That's what it was.
Hellbent's the one on Gallifrey. Yeah.
It's like this Hellbent. Yeah. That one you could do that one, and if you want like his, you get his Clara and 12 together, or Bill with and 12 together. You can always just do.
He's 10
you can always just decide the Dr. Falls and whatever the first part was.
I know what episode you do for the 12th Doctor.
What?
You did a 3-part pyramid episode.
You could, and it, if you do one low of credits and one low of opening and make it one big thing.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to cut it out. You'd have to cut it out just before he says, "I'm still blind."
And then for 13, probably just the woman fell to Earth and probably yeah. Or you could always just do Flux as a big marathon thing, being only six episodes.
That is true.
And it's one big story. But yeah, no, Revolution I would do for 13. That's why, because it's like a self-contained.
Is that the New Year's one with New Year's with the Dalek on the back?
That's the first one, yeah. The Dalek on the back, yeah. All right. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, I probably should get going.
So we are done with episode 1. Episode 2, probably when the Star Beast happens, and
yes, I will probably the next time I will be free.
Yeah,
will probably be the Wednesday afterwards because that's my day off. Yeah.
So we'll figure out like what the topics are. Because it could just be the Star Beast alone, but it could also be.
Absolutely, I think it probably will be.
Yeah, probably would be. Yeah, Star Beast alone, or but we might briefly talk about like Dogs and Color or something very briefly, but you never know.
If we can access it.
If we can access it. Bargain Hunt, Doctor Who edition. I don't know. Yeah, we could. Yeah. We'll probably just stick to Star Beast.
That is true.
Yeah.
if I can somehow get my hands on some of this stuff, I'll try and get it to us. But yeah.
Anyway.
So what did you guys think of this? Let us know in the comments below.
And also, if you're new to the Whoniverse, if you have questions, bring on in. Yeah, we'll happy to answer it. As I said,
answer more modern series, or probably answer more classic.
Yeah, as I said, we when I was talking about the numbering for the first time, we are basically American football team. American commentators explaining Swifties football.
Yeah.
Because the main person is in the stadium. That's basically what we are, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the modern and the revival era and the classic era is the other two big name actors, and no one really is paying attention to that. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Ever since I covered that concert movie, I've been making a lot of Swift jokes. Anyway, can't believe I did that one. Anyway, I think I was looking for content pretty much. Like, what can I make? Videos. Oh, okay, that's big. Yeah. I don't mind. I won't lie. There was some songs I thought was good, decent. Yeah. I was like, okay. But anyway, and also because this is episode 1, so yeah.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. By the way,
the specials and potentially big outtake.
Yeah, and we'll probably figure out something to do when it's like, it's Christmas, we're just waiting for the new season or something. We'll figure something out.
I mean, if you get up to Tom Baker by that point, I'll definitely delve into some of that stuff with you.
If any of my fan base knows, I'm really liking the John Patrick era. Oh, it's great. Oh no,
it's the 7-part episodes bringing it down for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the 6-part. Yeah.
Can I tell you one thing about Tom Baker's era?
I know he likes J babies.
No, can I tell you one thing about it?
What?
Most episodes are 4-parters.
That's nice.
There's only one 6-parter per season.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. I think it's like I'm watching it in a modern lens, and of course these shows were made to be watched bingely.
Yeah.
Made week by week.
Weekly.
And week by week, so you're having this model lens, and also like, oh, that's slow, that's boring. Like, we were talking about the war games. Probably the war games back in the day was probably this big epic story that you never wanted to end.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, please, this should be like at least what, 8, 7.
That is true.
Yeah. Hey, editors, that's a good challenge. Edit the war games and try and make something decent. Decent is, but it's pretty good.
It is just very long.
It's very long.
For no reason.
Do you feel that when it comes to the trial of the Time Lord, do you feel the length? If you start with the
No, I didn't. Same as with Key to Time in the 4th Doctor's era. I didn't feel the length of that.
Okay, because that was 13 episodes, so it's like you just go.
Yeah, exactly. It's one, but there's enough narrative break every 4 episodes.
Okay.
Both of those, that sure they're continuing on the story, but it's not
essential.
No, it's more like Flux in that regard.
Okay. Yeah. And I find when Flux comes along, we're like, it's 6 episodes. Where's the plot? Where's the main plot? And then back in time, when it was 13 episodes, but they would take little short adventures. But again, it's 6 versus 13.
Yeah.
But anyway. See, we'll do episode 2 when we can, and it's on for the big 6-0 or something. So
yeah, 60 years.
60 years, even though we were
I've
around
been
60
there
years.
for almost 20 of them, so I've been there for a quarter of them.
Yeah, a quarter.
Oh, a third.
Well, for a good chunk of it was the Whoniverse years. So like,
yeah.
So as I said to you earlier that about the Wars thing, I was like, I'm 27 and already I feel like I'm an old man yelling at clouds. Like I'm like, but I mean, to be fair, people think 30 is now the new like 40. Like people are ready for you to get the walking cane. Yeah, which is weird. I'm like, F you, I'm not old, I'm 30. If that happens, if someone's like, here's a walking cane, I'll be like, I hope generation happens because I'm going to. Yeah. But anyway, okay. It'll be like, is it murder if you just come back as a different person? No. All that. Anyway, and but yeah. So yeah, I haven't been a big fan of the Petri era, mainly because also the whole Earthbound thing a bit. I'm waiting for the time.
I'll give you a bit of a spoiler for that. That stops after the Three Doctors.
Oh, good. And that, try and remember, I'm that close to watching the very first classic story I ever saw when I started to get into the show.
Which one was it?
Planet of the Daleks.
Oh, you started with that?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder you don't like the classic series that much.
Oh no. You're like.
Is that the one on Spyridon?
Huh?
Is that the one with the invisible people on Spyridon? Yeah, it is.
Oh,
actually, that one's all right.
Okay. I thought like, oh no. It's like, really? You saw that? And then I think I was jumping over the place, and then yeah, because when libraries
I watched from Tom Baker's first episode onwards, and then I went back to the others.
Yeah, because when the libraries used to have DVD wax, and I mean they still do, but it's not very much the same. And they would just have Doctor Who episodes kind of randomly. The Trial of Time Lord I never saw because it was always like in disorder. I could never get part 1. So
right.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna watch half a story.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Moving along. This is typical us. We have a habit, or I have a habit just going on and on. Anyway. Yeah, we've been going on for nearly 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah,
Gotta be fun to edit.
But fun to edit, or I say fuck it, I'll just release the whole thing. Yeah. I'm not doing memberships yet. You can have the whole thing, guys. Yeah. Actually, that's something I have to think about. I have to think if I want to do the membership perks thing. Anyway, because YouTube has changed their money stuff. Anyway, make like an hour version of it. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you. We'll hear you or see you next time. Wherever. Anyway, see you guys.